Today we're going to talk about a fairy tale. Just a second. You can hold this. Called The Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen. And we're looking at it in Illustrated Stories for Girls, taken by Usborne. We have it in other books too, but this one has the Usborne, you know, we have several of their books. Show some of the pictures, Camille. Turn the page and show the picture. This is a really pretty watercolor version. And there's not very many words per page, and just a lot of pretty pictures to look at, which keeps it interesting. You know, fairy tales are short, and this one is short. So, Avery, you read it. What did you think about it?
It was a ton different from the movie, because the movie just... I don't like the movie, because she just...
The Disney movie?
Yeah, the entire time she's just disobeying her dad, like, time after time. And then, in the end, she just gets what she wants. It's like the dumbest thing ever. But this one, she actually gets punished at the end.
What is she being punished for? What did she do wrong?
She went to go see the witch.
Okay, so this one does a great job of... she's young, and when her sisters turn 15, they get to go up to the surface of the water.
Their grandma tells them all about the surface, and they say that when they're 15, they can all swim up to the surface and they can swim around.
Yeah. So she's the youngest. She's the Little Mermaid. They are princesses. They are the king's daughters, and they're good friends. And they get, one by one, they become old enough to go up and see. And she doesn't go up and see until it's time to go up and see. She waits till she's 15. But she's really it's kind of like the movie, that she's preoccupied with humans a little bit. She has a big statue of a boy, right?
And every night she goes there.
Yeah, and she spends time with it. So, she goes to the surface, and remember what happens when she goes the first time?
She sees the boat and he gets wrecked,
okay,
and so she saves the prince, and then she starts to like him, and then she realizes that he kind of looks like the statue that she found.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, that must be my Prince Charming," and so then she can swim to the surface. So
do you remember what happens the first time she sees the prince, Camille?
Yeah.
What?
He recognized.
No, not when she goes after she becomes a human. The very, very first time when he's on the boat. What does she do? She rescues him. Remember, she rescues him and brings him to shore. And then this other girl meets him and takes care of him. And so it's really interesting, because all this time while she's down below the surface, after she sees him the first time, she wants to go up there and see him, and she'll just sit there and just watch him, and then she'll stay by the statue, and she really kind of obsesses about him. And there's some really good lessons about, wanting things that aren't good for you, wanting things that aren't natural for you. She shouldn't be wanting a human when she's a mermaid. She should be focused on her blessings, on the things that she has. At one point, somebody says something about, you can have any one of these mermen because her dad is king, and she's like, I don't want one of them. And she kind of obsesses about it, and it kind of becomes her whole world. So then the temptation enters her mind to go see the witch. And what happens when she sees the witch? Do you remember, Avery?
She says, I can make this potion for you to split your tail into 2 legs, but there's 2 things. One, you can't return to the sea ever.
Yeah.
And
so
2,
if it doesn't work out, she doesn't even get her old life back.
And 2, if the guy doesn't return her love, then she'll turn into
sea foam. But there's something else.
No. No. Wait. Waddle.
Remember the other thing? She has to pay for it with her voice.
Oh yeah. So then she can't tell, and so then they go, and then she swims up, and she has the potion, and then
okay, but here's the thing. Remember when the witch, this is what I think is awesome too. The witch says, okay, you're going to become a human, but you're not going to have a voice. And if it doesn't work out with this boy, you can never come back, and you're going to turn into sea foam. No. What do you choose?
No.
Remember,
And
she
then
says
she takes-
you get to choose it.
She falls.
Oh yeah, and then she
What
says,
does she say?
She said wave.
Oh, she's gonna turn into waves?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So she's gonna turn into waves. And she gets to make a choice.
and
She
chooses
understands the situation perfectly. She knows what the consequences are going to be, but she's become so obsessed with this one idea. It controls her whole life, this one idea that she's going to go up there and she's going to marry this prince. And she thinks that he's going to be in love with her when she's forgotten that she spent all this time thinking about him, but he hasn't even thought about her. He doesn't even know she exists.
Well, no, he does, because he saw her come up and save her. But then he fell in love with her, and then whenever she goes up to the land, he says, and then like he kind of likes her, and then they like, you know, talk and stuff, except for she can't talk. And so then he says, well, there's this girl that when I was having my
When I was rescued,
When
when
I was
I almost
rescued-
drowned.
when I was rescued, I saw this girl, and I'm going to go find her and marry her. And so then he set sail, and
He just like leaves. He's like, it's so great. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope I can help you, and I hope you have a great life. But I'm in love with this girl who helped me heal after I almost drowned,
but
and
that's
we're going to
the
be married
same
tonight.
girl, so
Yeah. Well, they're going to be married.
Yeah.
So
But that's what I didn't understand, because it's kind of weird, because he loves her and he wants to go marry her and he set sail to go marry her, but it's the same person, so wouldn't she not?
what's the same person?
The mermaid that
That went to the world.
He's been in love with a human ever since he almost drowned. Ever since he almost drowned, he's been in love with the same girl.
Yeah,
It's a
I know,
human.
but no,
Yes.
it was that.
No.
It was the Little Mermaid.
No. Nope. No.
Yes.
No. He doesn't even realize that she was really there. That's what's so crazy about it is she's down in the ocean obsessing about him, and in the meantime he's just falling in love with somebody who helped him get better. So it's sad because, you know, you're sad that she turns into the waves or the sea foam or whatever. But the truth is, it's really a valuable, you know, fairy tales have a lot to teach about traditions and what people have believed. This one is made up by Hans Christian Andersen. It's not like a Grimm's Brothers ones that came from the tradition, but it's true to real life. And if you were this, you know, if you were this obsessed with something and then it didn't work out, you would be devastated. You might, you know, bad things would happen if you did what the Little Mermaid did, and she knows the consequences and she still chooses it, and he doesn't rob those natural consequences from the story. He lets them remain, and so it's a good lesson for children. Anyway, anything else about the Little Mermaid? Anything else about the Little Mermaid?
No.
Okay, The Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen. You can find the copy we're reading in Illustrated Stories for Girls by Usborne. Talk to you next time.